Hello and welcome to today's webinar, Seamless Content Delivery. My name is Jordan and I'm marketing here at Progress. Now I'm going to turn it over to today's presenters, Lokesh and Akshay.
Thanks, Jordan, for the intro. So my name is Lokesh and I'm currently working as a senior product manager with Chef, and I'm handling the Chef complaints product portfolio. I've been with Chef for almost 2 years, and prior to Chef, I've been working on security and then cloud-related products with Oracle CASB, Symantec, and other security products. And on a personal note, I've written a book on product management. It is called Product Management Simplified. That's about me. And what do you, Akshay?
Thanks, Lokesh. So, hello everyone. My name is Akshay. I'm a senior technical product marketing specialist here in Progress from past 1.5 years. I'm leading the technical marketing team, and I'll be taking over the demo perspective. Thank you.
Thanks, Akshay. So in today's session, we are planning to cover the Chef complaints overview, the Chef premium content, and the key feature that is like seamless content delivery. And then after receiving the email, like what we have to do on content delivery, and then followed by a demo by Akshay on audit and remediation aspects, and then finally on key takeaways. And without further ado, let's jump into Chef complaints overview. All right. So if you see on Chef complaints overview, like Chef has been like architected in the complaints development process, in line with like 5 phases of complaints life cycle. One is acquire, second is define, third is detect, and fourth is remediate, and fifth is report. So on the acquire phase, like our customer selects the required set of benchmarks like CIS and STIG, PCI, HIPAA, or GDPR in order to audit their infrastructure. Maybe let's say you are a financial institution and you have to comply on CIS and STIG benchmarks, and you're looking for a profile like CIS, CentOS, and MongoDB benchmarks. Then our customers raise a request with Chef development team for benchmarks like CIS, CentOS, and MongoDB. So once we get the request, our Chef development team starts developing benchmarks by converting the controls into a SCAP format, and then curate the automated content into a cookbook. And that's how like an audit profile is getting created within our Chef development team. And once our audit profile is developed, so we ensure that our each CIS benchmark is getting certified by the CIS benchmark team itself. So this makes our CIS audit content, foolproof and of top quality. And then like these benchmarks, once developed by Chef team, will be shared to our customers. So this is on the acquire phase. So in the define phase, our customers can define baselines like by applying the controls in the CIS benchmarks needed for audit. Either they can skip or waive a few controls. So we have an interesting features around waivers to skip controls with like appropriate business justifications. And then all these controls are like wrapped into audit cookbook. So in a defined phase, customer define baselines, whichever controls available for their audit. So this is on the defined phase. And in the detect phase, like users run audit controls on the target node, as I mentioned, like CentOS or MongoDB as a target node. So once the audit is complete, like users can continuously monitor in automate and view the results, like the audit results in automate. So our compliance users like can see which controls are getting passed and which controls are getting failed in our automate dashboard. So now for compliance user, like there could be like failed controls, which needs to be remediated either automatically or manually. So these the controls which needs to be remediated automatically are done in our remediation phase. So how the remediation phase works is like our Chef development team has developed the remediation cookbooks, which is of top quality. And these remediation cookbooks helps to resolve the failed controls in an automated manner. And then how it works, like complaints users has to upload the remediation cookbooks through knife command, and then they have to trigger the remediation. And once they have applied remediation, they have to rescan or re-audit the notes in order to check the results of remediated controls in the automate. So this is on the remediation phase. And then finally, it's on the reporting aspect. So Chef provides Automate as a visibility platform in order to view the scanned results as well as the remediated results. So user will get a comprehensive and up-to-date visibility on complaint state for different nodes in their infrastructure in the Automate. And then user can also use our interesting feature called data feed as an option to export results from Automate and view it in external applications like ServiceNow, Splunk, or Kibana. They can also export those data. All right. So this is about the quick overview about Chef complaints. Now let's move to Chef premium content. So on Chef premium content, like our premium content has been, which delivers like curated content for complaints, audit, and remediations based on the Center for Internet Security, that is CIS, certified benchmarks, and Defense Information System Agency, DISA security technical implementation guides, that is called as STIG. So it's based on CAS and STIG. So we offer like premium content for wide variety like operating systems, databases, web servers, applications, web server applications, cloud and container systems. Um, and then like if you look at on the OS wise, we have recently delivered the content for Alma Linux and Rocky Linux, which is in high demand. And then we have standard operating systems like RHEL, SUSE, Ubuntu, and Windows also. And then on key applications wise, if you see like we have for Nginx, Tomcat server. And then on DB front, if you see like we have MongoDB, PostgreSQL, MS SQL, and Oracle DB content. And then we also have built-in content for VMware ESXi application recently. And with respect to cloud, we have AWS, Azure, GCP, Docker, and Kubernetes related content. Just a side note with respect to cloud content, in order to avail this cloud content, customers should have purchased our cloud security or our CSPM product. All right. So this is about the Chef premium content. Now moving on to seamless content delivery. So this is the key feature which we have developed. So why we have come up with this feature? Like Chef has developed, as I mentioned, like CIS and STIG benchmarks for audit and remediation. Once the audit content is developed, our user base gets the audit content by our Automate platform, and our remediation content is delivered through private GitHub repos. This is the existing practice we follow. So once this feature is live, which is going live by today and end of day, and like so customers. So in the earlier practice, customers faced a lot of challenges in getting remediation content, that is through Git repos, private Git repos individually for each customers, and this was not a fulfilling experience. So whenever we have to develop content or whenever we have to update the content, we have to keep on updating all these private Git repos, which is also a troublesome manner for Chef. So we are all resolving all these pain points. So we have developed a solution to deliver the content which will get delivered through email. So our customers will get the content through email on a monthly basis, and this audit and remediation content will be delivered to customers who have purchased our compliance audit and remediation content. So that is the meaning of the entitled customer base. And then like users won't get the content if they have not purchased our compliance product, FYI. And one more thing, like we have made is like the downloadable links which you see in the email, it's all ephemeral. So it is like live for 7 days, and once it is expired, maybe you can reach out to our support team and we can retrigger that email, and then you can get that content again. So this is on the seamless content solution, where you will be getting an email of audit and remediation content. So now moving on to next, um, so on the email template, if you see like you will get this is the sample email template we have portrayed. You'll be getting email from Progress Chef team, that is content no reply at chef.io, and it has been sent to buyer persona who have been engaging with our account team. So that is for the entitled customers buyer persona, and then like users will receive this email on a monthly basis. So this is a sample email. You're looking at the screen, and then after receiving email, like what next? Now you have received your content in an email. You would have downloaded the required audit and remediation cookbook from email like Ubuntu, RHEL, CentOS, Alma Linux, audit and remediation cookbooks. Then the next step is to perform the audit and also to perform remediation. On the audit front, you can do audit in two ways on your target machine. One is like a downloaded audit content from the email. You can do audit via inspect CLI through inspect execute command. That is one option. And the other option is like the recommended approach from Chef is to execute the content from the audit content from the automate dashboard directly. So in this case, in the second option, you don't need to download the audit content from email. So this is on the audit perspective. So once you have performed the audit, there could be some controls which are failing, and these failed controls have to be remediated. So in order to resolve those things, we have to do a remediation. And for remediation, you have to download the remediation cookbooks. Let's say you have audited with Ubuntu, you have to Ubuntu 7 or Ubuntu 2022. So you have to download the appropriate remediation cookbook of Ubuntu 2022. And then you have to upload the remediation cookbook into a Chef server. So once cookbooks are uploaded, you can trigger the remediation content or trigger the remediation cookbook from Chef client. All right, no worries. Like we are planning to have a demo session where Akshay will be covering all these aspects from audit and remediation perspective. So what are the benefits of seamless content delivery? So one is like customers get content in a streamlined manner when compared to the previous approach of sharing remediation content in private Git repos. And then our customers get content via single platform, that is like via email. And then third is like customers don't need to depend on our Chef customer success or CA teams in order to access the complaints content. So customers will be getting updated and new content on a monthly basis, like in a systematic manner. And finally, like you can see the whole gamut of content across wide variety of systems, like as mentioned, like OS, web server applications, and cloud in one email, and you can use of that seamlessly. So these are the benefits of seamless content delivery. Let's move on to next slide. So in case if you face any issues, queries, like if you feel like you are entitled to complaints content and not receive the content, or if you need more users to the mailing list to be added, or in case if you have if your download links got expired and wanted to have like a new email with fresh download links, you can raise a support ticket. So please drop a note to our support team through this link. So we'll resolve your clarifications quickly. All right. So now comes the interesting part, demo of the solution. So let's invite Akshay to demo the audit and remediation aspects of the downloaded content. What do you, Akshay?
Thanks a lot, Lokesh. So let me discuss the infrastructure setup before the demo briefly. I have a Mac OS and the command, let me open the terminal, and the command basically chef-v tells us what workstation version I'm using and different tools which will help basically to upload the cookbook and test the compliance base or to run the audit scan, like the workstation version, the inspect version, and so on. Along with this, in addition to this, I also have few servers running in my AWS cloud, which will act as infra server as well as automate server. There's another machine, EC2 machine, which I have set up is Ubuntu machine, which will act as a remote node or the remote client machine against which will run this audit and the remediation scan, which Lokesh just explained us about. Okay, so let us begin. So first thing which I will do is bootstrap the remote node or the client node uh, and attach it to a Chef infra server. And the command for that is, let me clear the screen, knife boot. Okay, let me just copy paste it for easier access. So basically this command helps us to bootstrap a client node to the Chef infra server. This is the IP address of my remote server, 100.26. You can get it from here itself, 100.26.170.8. AWS Ubuntu is any naming convention you can give based on your preference. Ubuntu is the name of the machine You can get the name of the machine from the portal itself. If you just click on that instance, click on connect. This is the machine name which you can see, Ubuntu, right? So that's the name of the machine, and this is the key which we'll use to basically to verify the machine. So the bootstrapping might take like 30 to 40 seconds to connect to the infra server and get it up and running. So let's wait until that is done. I'll just confirm the authentication. So if you can see, it's creating a new client for Ubuntu. It's creating a node. Yep. So the bootstrap has been completed. You can verify it in two ways. The first thing is knife node list, from which you can verify from your terminal itself. Test machine is something which I did for earlier for my trial version, and AWS Ubuntu is something which I bootstrapped just now. This is the first way, and the second way is with the help of Automate UI as well. If you can just come to the dashboard section, just refresh it, and if you can see a node has been created, AWS Ubuntu, right? So this is how you bootstrap a node. Next is, as Lokesh mentioned, we have to run the audit scan on this particular Ubuntu machine, right? So for that, you need to come to Automate UI, go to compliance section here, select the profile against which you want to run the machine or run your audit scan. So for that, you need to go to profile section here. So we have almost like 600, 691 available profiles from which you can select based on your preferences. For me, it's an Ubuntu machine, as it's an Ubuntu. So I need to select Ubuntu from this search bar. I'll just minimize this. And if I click on search, you can see multiple versions popping up, 12.04 to the latest one, which is 20.04. So I have selected 20.04 version. So I'll just click on this get tab here. So as soon as you see that, as soon as you click on get, that profile will be selected here. Which you can verify here. Then I'll go to scan job. I'll add a node first. Adding a node is something which you add this remote client to the Chef Automate, for which you will run your audit scan. So I'll just, again in compliance tab, in the scan job section, in the node added, I click on add node. I'll give the IP of that server, which is this one. Again, naming convention depends on your preferences. So let me give AWS Ubuntu itself. I'll choose the credential files, click on add one node. So it should take like 5 to 10 seconds for the status to go to reachable or unreachable state, depending on your credential file. So if you can see, it's on reachable state. So next job is to scan that particular or to run an audit scan on that particular node. So for that, again, in compliance phase, in the scan job section, click here, select that particular node, AWS Ubuntu, set, click on next, select the profile. Okay, just a second. Yeah. I'm just giving a naming convention before scan because I'm running this before the remediation scan takes place. So I'll click on save. And you can see the status is running now. It takes almost 30 to 45 seconds for the scan to complete. And once completed, you can see a report tab popping up here where you can see the detailed report. So let's wait for like 30 seconds before we see the report. Okay, so before let's wait until this running. So before that, let's see the mail which Lokesh mentioned. So this is the mail which you will see from the progress thing, from the progress email ID. And if I click on remediation content, you'll see all the details of the remediation content cookbooks. So based on your machine, you need to click on download. The format will be in zipped file. You need to unzip the folder and copy paste that onto your work directory. So this is my work directory as of now. Remediation is my working is my directory, and cookbook is my. So if I see here, this is the one which I have downloaded, unzipped, and copy pasted in the cookbook directory itself. So if I go into that remediation cookbook, you can see the recipes, the remediation content. I won't go much into detail because the time permit, that time doesn't allow us to go in detail. So once that is done, uh, once you copy paste your cookbook to your workstation, you need to upload this cookbook to the chef server. And for that, let me go back. The command is like cookbook upload and remediation 1 2. So basically, I'm uploading that cookbook to Chef Infra server. So let's see whether the report has been generated. If you can see, the report has been generated for AWS Ubuntu. I'll just click on this report, go to two nodes, AWS Ubuntu. And if you can see, they are like 86 failed controls. This is only audit scan. We haven't run the remediation scan yet. So there are 86 failed controls and 103 passed. I have taken one example of rsync, which is in failed control as of now. It basically says that rsync service should not be installed. So if you can go to source file, you can see the rsync should not be installed. So let's check whether the rsync has been actually installed on that remote node when we created the instance. So I'll log in to the remote machine. So if you can see, let me rsync has been installed. And just because of this, you are seeing that as a failed result. No, as per the CIS and DISA benchmark, the rsync should not be installed, right? So let's see whether the cookbook has been uploaded. Yes, the cookbook has been uploaded. So now, next thing which you have to do is assign that cookbook to the chef client. And for that, the command is knife run. Just a second. Yep. Move, node, paste, and AWS Ubuntu. This is the name of my machine, and recipe is the my cookbook name for which I want to run my node against. So what you're basically doing is you are attaching that cookbook to the chef client, so that when you run sudo chef client on your remote machine, this particular cookbook will be executed, right? So let me go back to my chef client and give the command sudo chef client. So basically, it will pull the cookbook from the chef infra server and start executing. Now, remediation cookbook is getting executed on your chef client. It might take almost like 1 to 2 minutes for the execution to be completed. And once done, we need to scan the cookbook. We need to scan the node again, and we will see the failure rate coming down and the pass controls increasing. So let's wait until this is executed. Now, depending on number of control files for which the remediation scan is run on your chef client, depending on how many control files are executed, it will take that amount of time. Uh, for some of the machines, there are only 100 to 150 control files, which will take like 30 to 45 seconds. But for Ubuntu, we have 200 plus controls. So based on that, it might take almost like 1.5 to 2 minutes for it to get executed. Okay, so before that, so let's make a quick note of this 86 pass controls and 103. I just make note of that. 86 failed and 103 passed. Yep. So the remediation cookbook execution has been completed. It took 2 minutes 51 seconds. So the next thing which I need to do is again run the scan job, the same scan job which we did earlier. I'll just click on that, click on next. I'll select the same profile. I won't change anything. I'll just change after scan. So let me go back here. And now let me check if rsync has been removed from the, if you can see, the rsync has been removed. So based on the CIS benchmarks or the DISA benchmarks, and as per the best practices, rsync should not be installed on the remote client. And as the chef client executed the remediation cookbook, it has been removed from the remote client. So itself, this will be treated as the past control now. So this is ready after scan. Just click on remote. Data flows to, and if you can see, failed controls are 48 now, and pass controls are 135, whereas to 86 failed controls and 103 passed. So this is how remediation cookbooks helps you to remediate your remote node based on the best practices, which will make less, which will involve less human intervention, uh, and to solve multiple problems based on the best practices and the CIS benchmarks. So I hope this demo was insightful. We learned how to run an audit scan from Automate and how you can remediate for a failed control through remediation profiles. Thank you. Over to you, Lokesh.
Thanks, Akshay. Thanks for the interesting demo. Now, finally, on the key takeaways of the today's webinar session. So we have observed like the entitled users like audit and remediation content. They'll get audit and remediation content through a link via monthly email, and then they can download the content based on the links present in the email, and then user can do the audit via inspect CLI or via automate. So Akshay has shown the demo via automate directly, and then customers can download the remediation content, and then they can upload it in the chef server, and they can apply the remediation. This also been demoed by Akshay. And finally, on a side note, the downloadable links are like ephemeral. So these are the key takeaways of today's session. So let's move to questions.
Thank you, Lokesh and Akshay, for your presentation. That was excellent. It doesn't look like we have any questions that came through at this time. So if you do have any questions, we'll make sure to follow up with you directly. But thank you guys all for joining today's webinar, and we really hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.